Water. It's all around us. It's in the air, it's in our bodies, it's in the soil. Water is essential to life on Earth. We assume that water will always be available when we want it. But there is only a certain amount of water on Earth, and it must be used over and over again by all living things. Where is the water in Illinois? It can be found on the surface or as groundwater. Illinois has approximately 87,000 miles of streams. Laid end to end, these streams would stretch across the continental United States nearly 29 times. Wetlands are areas of land that hold water for at least a portion of the year and that sustain water-tolerant plants. Most of the wetlands in Illinois are in the northeastern and southern parts of the state and along the Illinois River. Illinois has 1.25 million acres of wetlands, over 1,900 square miles. The major rivers in Illinois are the Mississippi River, the Ohio River, and the Illinois River. Illinois has more than 259,000 acres of inland lakes and ponds, plus one Great Lake, Lake Michigan. Large reservoirs include Carlisle Lake, Rend Lake, and Lake Shelbyville. All of these bodies of water are part of more than 800 watersheds in Illinois. A watershed is an area of land that supplies water to a particular river or body of water. The water may run off the surface or be under the ground. The watershed is usually divided by the features of the land. Each watershed connects with another. In central Illinois, the South Fork of the Sangamon River drains into the main branch of the Sangamon, which empties into the Illinois River. The Illinois joins the Mississippi River and flows into the Gulf of Mexico, which merges with the Atlantic Ocean. The water in our watersheds doesn't all just run off into the ocean. Some of it becomes groundwater. Some of it is incorporated into the cells of organisms. Some of it evaporates. Water has many other uses too. The precipitation that falls in your area is used for drinking water, to remove animal wastes, for manufacturing, for transportation, for agriculture, for recreation, and for wildlife habitat. Large amounts of water are used for generating electricity. Water is heated to create steam, which turns the turbines in electric generators. It's important to keep the water in your area clean, because not only will you use some of it, but other organisms downstream will use it too. By the same token, you will use water from a watershed upstream from you. All living things must use the same water over and over again. Imagine everything that ends up in your water supply. Discharge from industries, storm sewer runoff from streets and parking lots, chemicals from agricultural fields, lawns, and golf courses. However, one of the most serious and widespread pollution problems in Illinois is silt. Silt is soil particles suspended in moving water. The particles may be carried by the water or deposited as sediment. Soil particles enter the watershed through practices that expose bare soil to precipitation. For instance, crops grown in rows and bridge construction leave the soil exposed so that it may be easily washed away. Boat and barge traffic also contribute to siltation by eroding riverbanks and keeping particles suspended. The problem is not a small one. For instance, the Illinois River drains nearly half of our state. It receives nearly 14 million tons of silt each year from our land. This soil is dropped from the water as sediment, or is actually washed away down the Mississippi River, where it may end up in the Gulf of Mexico. Silt destroys aquatic wildlife habitat in several ways. It covers fish nesting areas with soil. It reduces the amount of light that enters the water, which reduces plant growth and visibility for those organisms that live in the water. Reduced plant growth lowers the amount of oxygen available in the water. Since it reduces light, it also changes water temperature. Silt destroys the gill filaments of aquatic organisms. Backwater lakes along the Illinois River have lost an average of 72% of their capacity due to sedimentation. The average depth of Peoria Lake, decreased from 8 feet in 1903 to 2.6 feet in 1985. Many other Illinois lakes have the same problem and must be dredged of this soil to maintain the needed water capacity. Some people are reducing the problems caused by soil erosion by using practices like planting grassy waterways to hold and trap soil before it is able to leave fields, using no-till farming to plant crops in the past season's crop residue, and planting natural vegetation along stream banks to stabilize them, all slow the erosion process. Managing the watershed takes many talented and dedicated people. From deciding which trees may be harvested, to monitoring the health of mussel beds, to educating others about their impacts on water quality, natural resource professionals are working to maintain the natural balance in the watershed and provide quality recreational opportunities. Natural resource professionals also work with farmers, developers, and private landowners to expand soil conservation practices, monitor water quality, and improve the watershed. Students and private citizens also participate in and help to educate others about watershed-related activities. Students apply scientific knowledge and analyze water samples taken from rivers and streams in Illinois. Within a watershed, there may be many different types of aquatic habitats. Illinois contains a variety of these aquatic habitat categories. They include perennial streams, intermittent streams, open lakes, lake shores, ponds, scrub-shrub wetlands, swamps, forested wetlands, wet meadows, marshes, bogs, and fens. Wetlands are often transitional areas between land and water where the groundwater table is at or near the surface, or where the land is covered by shallow water. Usually found along rivers, ponds, or lakes, wetlands may also occur anywhere that certain soil types are present. Wetlands are important to ecological and environmental balance. They help control the flooding of rivers and streams. They clean polluted water by acting as a filter, allowing sediments, nutrients, and pesticides to settle out of the water. Thousands of species of organisms depend on wetlands and water-related habitats. From fish, frogs, and turtles, to deer, river otters, beavers, bald eagles, and waterfowl, wetlands provide important breeding, nesting, and feeding areas. Wetlands are the habitat for many endangered and threatened species. In addition, many plants live only in aquatic habitats. They include the bald cypress tree, silver maple, rose mallow, pondweed, duckweed, and cattails. The spotted touch-me-not, buttonbush, buttercup, and American lotus are also among the many types of vegetation found here. Yet thousands of wetland acres are lost every year to industrial, urban, or agricultural development. For example, wetlands once covered nearly 1/4 of the state of Illinois, almost 8 million acres. Today, only about 1 million acres remain. Wetlands are still being destroyed, but not at the rate they once were. People today have a better understanding of the importance of wetlands for wildlife, water quality, flood prevention, and recreation. Illinois' aquatic resources provide some of the best recreational opportunities in the Midwest. Illinois has thousands of miles of waterways suitable for boating and sailing, as well as other water-related activities. Illinois streams, lakes, and rivers provide outstanding opportunities for hunting, fishing, camping, hiking, and bird watching. The quality of these activities has not always been so good. Destruction and degradation of natural aquatic habitats, along with overconsumption of popular fish, led to the need for fish hatcheries.
28.
Millions of fish have been produced and stocked into Illinois waterways by the hatchery system. Enhanced populations of salmon in Lake Michigan, smallmouth bass, walleye, muskie, channel catfish, and other species throughout the state are the result of these efforts. Responsible use and good management practices are both vital to the future of Illinois' aquatic resources. Remember, we all live in a watershed, and all parts of a watershed are connected. The streams or rivers that flow through your community are part of a drainage system that covers nearly 1/3 of the United States. Water that runs off of your roof may end up in the Gulf of Mexico. Everyone lives upstream and downstream from someone else. That's why everyone has a responsibility to protect our water resources. Whether it's keeping a stream clean, preserving the aquatic habitat that plants and animals depend on, or using less water at home and at school, each of us can do something positive to improve the quality of our aquatic resources. Clean water is everyone's business. Water is a non-renewable resource. We can't make any more of it. What we can do is make sure that we're doing all we can to conserve, preserve, and restore aquatic resources for use by all living things.